Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my YouTube financial information and education channel. Remember, this is not financial advice, just information and entertainment from somebody that's been watching the stock market since 1987 and interested in investing. I like to share some of my ideas and maybe point you to something that may work out well for you and point out things that you might want to avoid. And overall, I think that most people should have a well-diversified long-term portfolio. I'm going to look at something most people haven't necessarily thought of, and no, it's not the QQQ, but it's related. And I think many people know, if you go down here, the QQQ is an exchange-traded ETF that features Apple, Google, Microsoft, and more. So basically, it's the top 100 companies in Nasdaq, excluding financial companies. Okay, so it's not exactly the top 100, but basically it is, with the exclusion of any banks or financial companies that might be in the top 100 there. And there's actually two. There's the QQQ and the QQQM. So there's QQQ. It's $700 or $607 there. A lot of money, although sometimes with certain brokers you can buy fractional shares. It was up 0.75% today. We'll go to QQQM, $250. So it's less, but it also was up 0.75%. So these are going to track Nasdaq the same way, but this one, the QQQM, which is the lower amount, was started in 2020. So it's about 5 years old, and in that time it's up 111.11%. If we go over to the max on the QQQ, it was started in 1999, so much longer, and that's why it's up more. But if you just go out 5 years, which the other one also has, it's about the same, 112%. So they're going to match each other pretty much. I have a few shares of the QQQM simply because I was able to buy more shares with the money that I allocated to that. And I think for a lot of people, something like this, as well as VOOG or something related to the S&P 500, would be a good stock to have. So let's look at the stock that I'm going to look at today. This is Nasdaq, and you may say, well, you know, what ETF is that? Actually, this is the Nasdaq Stock Exchange company that owns the Nasdaq, as well as a couple others. So if we look here, it owns Nasdaq as well as the Philadelphia Stock Exchange and the Boston Stock Exchange, and it owns 7 European stock exchanges, one in Copenhagen, Helsinki, Iceland, Riga, Stockholm, Tallinn, and Vilnius. So this company is the company that runs those stock exchanges. And it's interesting because it very accurately mirrors the growth of the ETFs. So for 5 years, it's up 111.49%, within a few tenths of what the QQQM came up with. Now this has a variable dividend yield depending on what, the composite 100 companies may pay out as dividends. And remember, a lot of companies on Nasdaq don't pay dividends. But if we look, just for information purposes, there is a quarterly dividend paid out. Currently, it's 27 cents per quarter, which is about a 1.22% on the current price here. 5 years, it's done well. 1 year, it's up almost 25% year to date. So 10 months, 13%. 6 months, up 30%. Can't argue with that. It is down over 1 month. 5 days, it's down 0.5%, and 1 day it was up 56 cents or 64%, or 0.64%. And max, if you were to have bought it back in 2002, this is probably split adjusted, but if you would have invested $5 about 23 years ago, you'd have $88.17 plus whatever dividends have been paid out. So I don't own any of this, but it is an intriguing idea, and I might buy some in the future. Anyway, I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this? Have you ever thought about buying into the stock exchange rather than buying stocks on the stock exchange? Love to hear from you. Leave a comment. I always read them. I respond to them eventually. If you haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe. Check out my other videos. I do a wide range of stock related videos and also other ones like mysteries that haven't been solved, kind of unexplained or unsolved mysteries. DB Cooper, the Zodiac. I think I've done one on Amelia Earhart. Probably should update that now. So, love to hear from you. Check those out. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.